John from Retired Rider. Hope you all are doing well today. We did a video on drinking and riding, and that's been a few videos back now. By the time you see this one, and we did also put it on Instagram and Facebook, just a minute, clips. You know how it goes. And on Instagram, Dryline Drifter did make a point. He said, I agree with you that no drinking and riding. But he did also ask me, on that clip on Instagram, I didn't have a helmet on, wife didn't have a helmet on. We didn't have any protective riding clothes on or anything like that. And he asked me, do you wear helmets or protective clothing while riding? It's basically what he said. And no, I said, no, we don't. He says that's something he does no matter what. He does it all the time. He wears his helmet, safety riding clothes, and all that. And he's always dressed to the nines to ride. Is basically what I took from it, and that's fine. And that makes a good point. There are several things we can do to keep ourselves safe, besides not drinking and riding or riding with a group of people that drink and ride. So that was one point. And I also got a comment from Road Reality on YouTube where he said, he had a situation where he was riding with a group and a lot of them went down in front of him, which that's my whole point about not riding with a group that's drinking or bar hopping or whatever you want to call it, poker runs, which if you do, much respect to you, do what you want to do. But he made a good, point too. But also, you can also, without alcohol, people can go down in front of you. That can happen at any time. But adding alcohol to it is definitely going to make the situation worse, or could make the situation worse. So, two great points, and much respect to you if you wear a helmet and you wear a full, dress fully for the ride, and you dress, in your jacket and whatever safety clothes you want to dress in. I have no problem with that. I respect that 100%. If you drink and ride, if you do those rides where you go from bar to bar, stop and have a drink or, whatever, much respect to you too. But it's just something, I'm not willing to do and I'm not going to do. Now, as far as wearing helmets and protective clothing while riding, I just don't do it. I never have. I'll wear a jacket if we're out on the highway or interstate or something like that. If we're going on a long trip, I'll wear a jacket, I'll wear a helmet. The wife will too. But as far as riding locally, or we're just riding, a couple hour ride or something like that, most of the time, I'd say 75% of the time, we do not wear a helmet and we do not wear, any kind of protective clothing. Most of the time, I'm in a t-shirt, she is too. Now, I don't discourage her from wearing a helmet. If she wants to wear a helmet, that's what I 100% respect that. If she doesn't, that's our choice, and it's a choice, we have to live with no matter what happens. So, but it was, for Dryline Drifter, was a great comment. I did appreciate it. And for Road Reality, it just shows you that anything can happen at any time. Like he said, when he had a bunch of guys going down in front of him and there wasn't even alcohol involved, and he said, his point was basically, what if alcohol was involved? How much worse could it have been? How much worse could the reaction time been for everybody? So it does make a difference, and it can make a difference, wearing a helmet and protective clothing. How much of a difference it's going to make if you're doing 70 or 80 mile an hour on the highway and you have an accident? Not sure how much protective clothing is going to help you. I'm sure the helmet's going to keep you from getting your head totally smashed. But at those speeds, I don't know how much it's going to protect you. But I guess something is better than nothing. But that's something for everybody to choose, make their own choice, whether they want to wear helmets, whether they want to wear, riding clothes, safety riding clothes, whatever. I understand, I get that. Like I said before, I do wear my boots, I do wear my jeans, I do wear mostly a t-shirt, every now and then a jacket, and every now and then a full face helmet. I just, like I said, I just never have, But I will say this. in one of the accidents I had, I've had three. I did have my helmet on, and it did save my melon. So I will say that. So it can at low speeds, or it can in certain situations definitely save your life. Other situations where you're going, highway speed, 70, 80 mile an hour, like I said, I'm sure it helps, but I'm not sure it's going to do much for you at that point. But hey, it could. But like I said, it's a choice. Everybody has a choice. You choose to ride with people that drink and ride. You choose to wear helmets or safety clothes. That's a choice, and I respect everybody. I respect everybody no matter what. If you choose to drink and ride, that's your choice. Do I agree with it? No. If you choose to wear a helmet and protective clothing 100% of the time, that's your choice, and I respect that 100%. So, all you can do is do you and make your decisions and your choices, and what choices we do make, we have to live with. That's why that day, I don't know, I just walked into that bar and something told me, I don't know, I just turned around and walked out. And I wasn't trying to offend anybody or piss anybody off or anything like that, but I just had a feeling that, when I seen them sitting there in the bar, and I believe it was alcohol that was sitting on the table, and I've seen it done before, and I'm not calling anybody out, I'm not calling anybody's names, I'm just saying, and I'm not saying they're bad people, I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, I'm not saying that. But when I seen that, something in me just said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. We've done it a few times this year, we did it a few times last year, and I said, you know what, we're not doing it anymore. We're not going to put ourselves in a worse, it's bad enough being on these bikes and dealing with other drivers and cars and things of that nature. But to be on these bikes and then drink on top of it, you're just making the situation worse. You are. And I chose that day. I said, you know what? We're not going to do it. We're going to go out on our own. And then I think from this point on, we're basically going to be lone wolves, me and the wife. And we're just going to go do our thing and ride and go do our thing. Now, if somebody wants to ride with us that's not bar hopping and is not drinking, hey, you're 100% welcome. But if you're going to bar hop and go drinking, we're not going to be there. We're just not going to do it. And it's kind of boring for us anyway, because you ride 10 minutes, 20 minutes, if that, to the next bar, and then everybody's drinking and doing their thing, and we're sitting there, basically kind of like outcasts, because we're not drinking. We're not in that mix. So really, you feel like you're just kind of outcast. So kind of felt that way on a few rides, and I was like, well, didn't feel comfortable, so we're not going to go that route anymore. But like I said, anything can happen to anybody at any time. You could be perfectly 100% sober and have an accident. I mean, I get that. But when you're adding alcohol to any situation like that, you're just making things worse. The outcome could be just much more horrible. So that's something we're not going to do anymore. We're just not going to participate in any rides where alcohol is involved. And unfortunately, unless you get a good group of guys that ride, together a lot, and that none of them drink. Unfortunately, if you go on these benefit rides, if you go on, runs with people, it's mainly about drinking, and so we're just not going to be a part of that. So we just won't be going on any of those, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Actually, for years I never did that. It's only been the last few years where I started to do that, and I'm going to go back to what I did years prior and not be involved in anything like that. Because that's kind of what got me out of it years ago was, I'm not going to ride. I'm just, not going to ride people drink. Now, I'm not saying I don't drink. I mean, I don't drink near as much as I used to, which really wasn't a lot then. We might go out and have a few drinks every once in a while, but we never do it in a car, and we never do it, on a motorcycle. Definitely. So, but yeah, that's just my opinion on it. I didn't want to rehash everything about the video about drinking and riding, but I did want to bring up the Dryline Drifter, his comments, and I did want to bring up Road Reality and what happened to him. And those things can happen. And I just want my wife to be 100% safe, as much safe as I can get her to be. and for me to be safe too. And I get you. I understand you, dry line drifter. I get you. I understand you saying, well, to be 100% safe or try to be 100% safe, you got to wear that helmet. You got to wear that riding gear. But like I said, that's everybody's choice. Everybody has a choice. Whatever you choose to do, much respect to you. But anyway, you'll notice we got a little thing up here on the wall, a little Willie G skull that's lighting up. That was a Father's Day gift from my son, Eddie. I just want to thank him for that. I didn't know what to do with it, where to put it, and I decided, well, I'll just hang it on a little shelf behind me on our little set here. So thanks, Eddie. I really appreciate the gift, Father's Day gift. We're going to be going on, we're actually going to be going back to Tennessee. So we will be doing the Tail of the Dragon and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hopefully the weather holds out down there this time. I did purchase, well, the wife did, a bike cover, trailable bike cover for the bike, just in case. The last time we went down, we had perfect weather, but I was always worried about, you got that pop-up thunderstorm or whatever in the mountains, those things happen. I was worried about the bike getting totally drenched on the trailer, so we did get a cover. Hopefully the cover works out and doesn't blow off and cause an accident. It would be a disaster. But it's supposed to be trailable cover, so we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, we are going on that trip, so we'll have video of that for you guys. We're supposed to be going to Hocking Hills, so we'll have video about that. I'm not sure when we're going. We got that smoke coming in here from Canada here in Ohio, and it's the air quality has just been horrible. I went out for a little ride, and I mean, it messed me up. I have allergy issues anyway. Got out, went for a little ride after we did oil change on the bike, and just to get it hot so I can check everything or check the oil and make sure there's no leaks, things like that. And I tell you what, it tore me up just for being out. Just, I don't want to say 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I mean, that smoke tore me up. So, but we'll have those videos coming up. Anyway, won't keep you guys on here that long. I do appreciate you guys. Hey, like, subscribe, share. We try to put out the best content we can. You know what I mean? We don't have the you guys know this, we don't have lots of cameras or anything like that. We got one camera we use, and we try to put out the best content we can. We do appreciate every one of you guys commenting and watching and liking. Hit that like button when you watch a video, and definitely subscribe if you haven't. Hey, you guys have a great day. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care now.